Hello, and welcome to the Dr. Kyra Show, where we use science to change ourselves, others, and the world. Today I want to talk about why it feels so good to be so bad. And what I mean by that is why we do things to sabotage ourselves and to feel shame about things even when they're going right. So it all starts with the brain, and it all starts with dopamine. And I'm going to tell you a story about some dopamine that backfired on me, for example. So I had done a cleanse, which is trying to get my microbiome and my bacteria in a good way because I had a pretty crappy diet. And so for 3 whole weeks, what I did was I ate a really not very tasty shake. I was, taking these supplements twice a day, 3 horse pills twice a day, which was really hard, and then probiotics. And I was feeling amazing. The first week was struggle because getting off sugar, yada, yada, yada. But then the second week and the third week, I was A, so proud of myself, and B, incredibly full of energy and feeling really clean, for lack of a better term. And then something weird happened. As soon as I stopped the 21-day cleanse and crossed the finish line, I went back to the worst foods that even worse than before I had started. And I was so disappointed and so sad about my relapse and even almost an overreaction, or I would say a rebellion against myself. Why did this happen? Well, recent evidence kind of gives us a clue. So everybody may know about a molecule called dopamine, which is released in an area of your brain which controls your sense of rewards. So if I eat something that I find tasty, like for me, a Starbucks soy chai, and my brain likes that, it basically releases dopamine and gets me kind of addicted to it. So that makes sense, right? That things that taste good or feel good would be something that we might even become addicted to because we like how good it makes us feel. What isn't so obvious, and what is almost counterintuitive science these days, but is a huge breakthrough, is that if I also binge on soy chai multiple times a day, and I feel bad about myself, or I feel ashamed or shame and guilt, guess what also happens? Dopamine also is released. Why is this the case? It's so, why do we feel bad and then we feel good for feeling bad? And we don't actually consciously feel good. For example, I wouldn't binge on something and then tell my friend, hey, I feel so great. But my brain feels great. My brain is actually registering that as a positive reward. My shame is almost paying for how it feels good inside to have that binge. So let's unpack that for a second. We binge and we feel really good, and then we feel bad about ourselves, or we feel ashamed of what we just did, and we also feel good. So no wonder why it feels kind of subconsciously good to be so naughty and to be so bad. So I hope this helped you, and I will give some solutions in other videos, but I hope this helped you understand what's going on in your brain so that you can be more effective in using this information to be better. If you like this and other tips, please subscribe to the channel below, and I'll see you next time.